So then we are back with the modern understandings from the time of the Second Tabernacle services, where we find the Aramaic English translation of the word. This translation comes from the original manuscripts of the prophets of the Israelic lineage, so then we can understand the time of the end as per Yirmiyahu the prophet. We find layers of understanding of the spring feast, the autumn feast, and also the returning of the cities of the Messiah laid waste for many centuries. As we read then Yirmiyahu the prophet, we always ask why then Israel has destroyed its own prophets, and what were then the reasons behind then the prophets were murdered. We should ask ourselves during this day, as we are then during the time of the restoration period of the holy cities. Let's then make this question as far as why then the prophets were destroyed. Let's then firstly evaluate what went on in terms of the wishes of Israel versus then what the Creator himself was speaking via his prophets. Those they don't ever get along. So let's then understand a factor as far as Ezekiel and the understanding of the temple and the new Jerusalem as far as coming down from heaven. As it was explained before, this world is replete with lies, and the world, they must have some sort of a link with lies in order to work. But let's then understand the perspective of the Messiah and what he spoke of regarding then the autumn feast. Yirmiyahu the prophet was sawn in half. But let's evaluate then why should we be concerned as far as where then the congregations are heading towards, because when they are not linked with the Messiah, they are merely branches walking around, but they can't produce fruit because the Messiah is not able then to produce fruit through them. So then, as far as not being condemning and not being judgmental, yet pointing out what the Messiah has said and the importance of bearing fruit in what the Messiah has said. Now, as himself being then the very tabernacling, the walking, living tabernacling, we understand then sections of the holy instructions, and we understand the third temple won't ever be built. So then, what should we say as far as being part of a congregation where they are combined with other congregations and some sort of misunderstanding as far as the third temple? The Messiah himself said, "Not a stone is going to be left upon another that shall be then not thrown down." What was the Messiah then explaining as far as the temple? What the Messiah was explaining is this: as far as the man-made buildings not lined up with the instructions, as we understand, the temple was not ordered by the Creator himself. The temple was a gift from David because of his obedience. Now, as far as during this time and age wishing for the third temple is absolutely evil, because we can't simply wish for a temple where then the instructions are saying otherwise. Ezekiel explains then the plans of the New Jerusalem, or then the kingdom, how it's going to be, and gives us then some understanding of then the place where the Holy Creator is going to be at when this earth then is refurbished. As far as this age is concerned, it must be destroyed. There won't be a fixing of this age. It's going to have a destruction of this age, and then purifying with fire as then Shimon has mentioned. So then we have the example of Sodom and the cities of the plain, and then the shower of sulfur, and then destroyed then the cities. And as we can understand, these last few days there came out very important news regarding then the nations of the Mideast arming themselves. We have great news from Jordan, great news then not only from Jordan, but then also Syria and also Egypt. These places are arming themselves, and then the trade of arms are flowing then in the area of the Mideast as exactly per instructions. So it is very exciting reading then what's going on, because then Daniel, the reflected prophecies, are up to date as the news from today's paper. Next time I'm going to evaluate more what the Messiah has said as far as the temple, and also the understanding of this army of Egypt, and then later on we're going to study what the sons of Ishmael are going to do. So then let's make sure we humbly understand what the Messiah has said, versus then mixing up with the crazy ideas of this world and wishing for a place that simply does not exist. So then, let's stay with the Messiah and do what he said to do and observe. Please stay tuned, much more coming up.